Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world.
From the Keith Vincent Kaola Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? In our Season 5 finale, we're going to discuss H.A.A.R.P. H.A.A.R.P. What is it, and what are the theories? And now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to our Season 5 finale.
They know that.
This is This Real? In the booth this week, you have Big Joe, as you heard him in his very electric opening. Say hello to everybody, Dad.
Hello, everyone.
This week, again, we also have Anthony, the dick at the desk. Anthony, say hello to everybody.
It's the Don. I'll fucking tell you every goddamn week. This has been fun. I've been on like the second half of Season 5. And I think it's time for me to take a semi-hiatus, so.
Right.
He needs a season off.
I need half a season off because what we're playing for Season 6, I want to be there for half of the season.
You have to be there for the religious.
That's exactly right.
You have to be.
And
exactly right.
You want to know why any other podcast has failed. You can't do a full fucking season. Anywho, this week we're talking about H.A.A.R.P. And, well, it is actually, what is it? An acronym, right? And that's what
yes, it is. No. An acronym is the opposite. No, that's antonym. Yeah, let's go acronym. I don't fucking know. I'm fucking tired, man.
He's the one that has the degree. Remember that.
I'm still recovering from the deer I murdered this afternoon.
The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. That is a, fucking mouthful. Mm-hmm. Is a specific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behaviors of the ionosphere. The ionosphere stretches roughly 50 to 400 miles above Earth's surface, right at the edge of space. Along with the neutral upper atmosphere, the ionosphere forms the boundary between Earth's lower atmosphere, where we all live and breathe, and the vacuum of space.
So it's the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like the walls of the bubble that keep us from...
the hole in the ozone, that type of shit?
That's the ozone is the ionosphere?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know either. I'm asking too.
Dad, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I do know that...
And the ozone that closed?
This was actually a joint effort with, I think it was the University of Alaska. And
yes, it's in Alaska.
Right, and our government, to study the...
military portion of our government, too.
Right. Well, that's got to...
Military and NASA.
Gives you all the questions you need to know. Because anytime the government's not going to do this because they want to sit there and they want to test the weather. They want to be able to find out how they get a leg up on Russia and China and North Korea. That's how this works.
No. What?
The operation of the research facility was transferred from the United States Air Force to the University of Alaska Fairbanks on August 11th, 2015, allowing H.A.A.R.P. to continue with exploration of ionospheric phenomenology. That's the word.
Phenomenology, yes.
Via a land use cooperative research and development agreement. H.A.A.R.P. is the world's most capable, high-powered, high-frequency transmitter for study of the ionosphere. The H.A.A.R.P. program is committed to developing a world-class ionospheric research facility consisting of the Ionospheric Research Instrument, a high-powered transmitter.
When was this founded? What year?
93.
Yes, 1993.
Okay, 93.
Yeah,
right.
So, but from 93 to 2015, it was under the U.S. Air Force.
Okay. Oh, by the way, no, the ozone layer is not the ionosphere. The ozone layer comes much below that, about 40 kilometers below the ionosphere. That's where the ozone layer is.
It goes us. What is that?
The troposphere, the stratosphere, the ozone layer. the mesosphere, the ionosphere, the Jurassic, the Triassic.
Fuck you, Anthony. So this obviously is, one of these things that have been speculated about for anything that the U.S. military does as far as research. I think comes under speculation a lot.
Yeah, and you also got to understand too, though, when something like this that has the ability to change things anytime you have such powerful microwaves that they can change things, and this isn't just for. I mean, they're going to tell you it's just for studying up there. I don't believe that for a minute. I believe that if they're trying to figure a way that they can cause problems, and use it as a military weapon. They want to control the weather. Okay, they seed the clouds now when they want rain, stuff like that. So what makes you think that they wouldn't go one step further using high frequency microwaves to do this? I mean, you got to be, come on. That's like saying there's no life on any other planet. It makes no sense.
The universities that have participated in the H.A.A.R.P research program include the University of Alaska, Stanford, Penn State, Boston College, Dartmouth, Cornell, University of Maryland, University of Massachusetts, MIT, Tomsk Polytechnic University, UCLA, Clemson, and the University of Tulsa.
Yeah, and you also got to check and see how much money they're getting from the government and grants and stuff compared to other colleges that are not. Okay, so you got to really do your research and check that, because I guarantee you they're getting a boatload of cash to do this kind of stuff.
See, the research that I've looked up in the last 10 minutes really have there's again, and with Google these days, any you search up conspiracy theory, you're not going to get a lot. There, for some reason, Google has taken conspiracy theories and anything that you sit there and go, stuff like 9/11, all this stuff. They've wiped the slate clean, and they've put these now, they call them fact checkers that sit there and
they
go,
pay for.
Well, this is not true, and this, like, I'm on a page right now that you could find blatantly right now. It's H.A.A.R.P myths, and it goes, sadly, for conspiracy theorists, H.A.A.R.P has no potential to affect weather, blah, 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 stuff like that. So you're not really going to find a lot of... there's not a lot of stuff you're going to find. You
got to go right to the actual official documents. That's where you're going to get your answers, because there's something that they can. They might want to classify some certain stuff, but you know what? You got to go through, put a FOIA act out there, and Freedom of Information Act request, and you can get these papers, because somewhere the truth is going to be out there. I again, they're spending a lot of money to just discover the ionosphere. For what reason? What is up there that's going to help us?
Well, as far as what Joey was just saying about how there's no myths out there or no websites. I mean, I'm on Google page 1, dude, and I found at least 3 websites right now just talking about the myths. But also I found, like, this one, granted, these are not like government-sponsored websites. They're also not, they don't look like they're heavily researched websites. But this is a website called anomalien.com. And the article is H.A.A.R.P, the Pentagon's ultimate weapon, whistleblowers say. Like they're out there. It's just that I think the problem is not that the alternate conspiracy theories aren't there, is that there's so much of it, because any dickhead can make a website. You have no idea what to believe. There's so much polluting the concept of conspiracy on the internet that anything could be, some asshole just connects these very vague dots, and all of a sudden you're seeing a picture, and it's not anything, it's not true.
Well, see, that's the beauty of this show, because we can basically tell you, we can go out there now and we can discuss all the possible things, and to make you go out there and figure it out yourself.
Right. I mean, we've been arguing the last couple of weeks about that shit.
Okay. There's always going to be, whenever you have stuff like this, whenever you have whistleblowers involved, there's going to be a shred of truth somewhere. But they're not going to tell you that. The whistleblowers aren't going to get to the media to let it go. All right? I mean, just honestly, you got to look what happened not so long ago at one of Trump's impeachment trials, when they say, well, we never talked to the whistleblower. We don't even know who he is. But the minute they wanted to call the one guy in, they freaked out. Oh, we can't do it because we can't have the whistleblower has to remain anonymous. But nobody said he was a whistleblower. So whistleblowers are then getting protected all right? Or they're getting harassed, or they're getting threatened, and they fear for their lives sometimes. And you got to ask yourself, is it really worth going out there and being a whistleblower? Different topic.
There is the idea that being the whistleblower, I mean, it depends on what side of history you're on, right? And you can sit there and say that a whistleblower could be someone viewed as patriotic. I think that what they're doing is wrong, and I have inside information, and I need to make this public. And then at the same time, you have people, the people who do that, who are on the wrong side of history, are marked as treasonous. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. It's the Edward Snowden syndrome at
right.
this point.
Now, to answer your question before, this is from H.A.A.R.P's website, harp.gi.alaska.edu. So it's the University of Alaska Fairbanks page about H.A.A.R.P, the FAQ. What is H.A.A.R.P used for? The goal of the research at H.A.A.R.P is to conduct fundamental study of the physical processes at work in the highest portions of our atmosphere, called the thermosphere and ionosphere. The research falls into two categories: active, which requires the use of the ionospheric research instrument, and two, passive, which is only using monitoring instruments. The ionosphere starts about 60 to 80 kms of altitude, extends to above 500 altitude. There are free electrons and ions in the ionosphere that radio waves can interact with. H.A.A.R.P radio waves heat the electrons and create small perturbations that are similar to the kind that happen in nature. Natural phenomenon are random and is difficult to observe. With H.A.A.R.P, scientists can control when and where the perturbations occur, so they can measure their effects. In addition, they can repeat experiments to confirm what the measurements really show and what the researchers think they do. So basically, they're saying that radio waves in this part of the sky, we're studying how they travel, how they work throughout this medium, because in this medium there is something there, these electrons, that we can't study them naturally because they're random, but by using this instrument we can simulate that thing and then draw conclusions based on how the electrons and the radio waves interact with each other.
When you start doing that, you start messing with nature. Well, you can't be doing stuff like that.
Well, we will talk. We just found out what H.A.A.R.P governmentally, is that a word, governmentally?
Sure, let's go with that.
Is used for. When we get back from break, we'll talk about what we think it's used for, or conspiracy theories about what it's used for. So we'll be right back.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Harsh to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
If you're looking for a dining experience like no other in the North Jersey area, Soprano's Pizza and Restaurant is your place. Located at 400 Minnesink Road in Totowa, New Jersey, Soprano's offers pizza, sandwiches, Italian delights such as specialty pizzas, seafood, soup, salad, burgers, sides, and much, much more. Free delivery on all orders, more convenient ordering online. Download the app on Google Play or in the Apple Store and track your order. Or if you prefer, just stop by and pick it up. Either way, Soprano's Pizza and Ristorante in Totowa always satisfies. Pleasant staff, exceptional atmosphere, and great food. Open 10 to 10 every day. Visit their website at www.sopranospizzeriamenu.com or phone 973-256-7115. That's 973-256-7115. Soprano's Pizza. Give it a try.
And welcome back. So, now we learned about, before break, we learned about what H.A.A.R.P is used for. Again, I said governmentally. Now we're going to talk about the conspiracy theories. And the biggest one I want to start off with, Dad. I know you have a list over there, but I have two websites right here that go back and forth about whether or not this is true or not. So the biggest thing I think people will sit there and say that the biggest conspiracy theory is that it controls the weather and natural disasters.
Right.
And I have from this website right here, it is Gaia.com, and they're talking about a conspiracy theory magnet. And what they're saying is weaponizing weather. One of the most popular and far-reaching accusations against H.A.R.P is that the organization deliberately creates destruction on a global scale, causing earthquakes, cyclones, flooding, snowstorms, and other disasters around the world. Critics of H.A.R.P assert that it has the capacity to send microwave radiation beneath the ground, strategically pinpointing fault lines, and that the size of H.A.R.P's fields of antennas have the potential for tremendous damage to the environment, as unlike other ionospheric research centers across the world, only H.A.R.P has the ability to focus the energy from the field onto a specific spot in the atmosphere. And one of the countless earthquake claims to have been linked to H.A.R.P was the Iran-Iraq earthquake that killed around 500 people in November of 2017. Despite tensions between those two nations and the United States, Iran's Deputy Interior Minister for Security and Law Enforcement, Mohammed Hassan Zolfaqari, I'm sorry if I butchered that, dismissed malintent, denying that such rumors had no scientific basis. Given the fact that the branches of the United States government had openly discussed technologies used to interfere with the weather and cause earth changes, it is difficult to dismiss critics so quickly. In 2005, the Air Force stated weather modifications will become a part of domestic and international security and can be done unilaterally. It could have offensive and defensive applications and even be used to deterrence purposes. The ability to generate precipitation, fog, and storms on Earth, or to modify space weather, and the production of artificial weather all are a part of an integrated. Wow, my mind is fucked right now. Of an integrated set of technologies which can provide substantial increases in U.S. or degraded capability in an adversary to achieve global awareness, research, and power.
Oh my God.
What?
You just went off on a fucking tangent, dude.
Yeah, but I do have...
Can it control the weather? They're saying yes, right?
Well, you have to sit there and say, this is from the U.S. United States Force, that they said that they can control the weather.
Right. Well, no, they didn't say they can control the weather.
They said weather control will be a big use to us in the future.
In the future, right. I mean, listen...
But, hold on, I have this page that's from Skeptoid, and of course it's Skeptoid, so it's going to be skeptical. It says, sadly for conspiracy theorists, H.A.R.P has no potential to affect weather. The frequency of energy that H.A.R.P transmits cannot be absorbed by the troposphere or the stratosphere, only by the ionosphere, many kilometers higher than the highest atmosphere weather systems.
Right. Which basically means that if they had the capability of sending anything that could fuck with the weather, the only place it's hitting is a place that it's too high where clouds aren't.
Okay, so what didn't he hit on it when he said that? Whoever that was, Skeptoid, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Skeptoid.
Okay, I'm glad he said that. But what didn't he say? That's what you got to look at.
That they, what?
Are you paying attention to what he said?
Well, it said
Read it again. Read it again.
That has no potential to affect the weather. The frequency of energy that H.A.R.P transmits cannot be absorbed by the troposphere or the stratosphere, only by the ionosphere, many kilometers high than the highest atmospheric weather systems.
Okay. So basically, weather doesn't happen in the ionosphere, and that's what this place is targeting, which means that you can't affect the clouds.
Okay, so what part in his statement did he say that it can't cause earthquakes or tsunamis? He didn't. He didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
well, I mean, would you consider those weather related or no?
They're more Earth related, not weather so much, but still, that point is still valid. He's not saying, it's basically saying, hey, this machine can't make a thunderstorm, but it can make the bedrock.
Right. Well, he didn't deny it. He didn't say no.
Well, I mean, what he's
right.
saying is that the energy can't be absorbed on this plane, though.
On those
those
planes.
planes.
You aim it in a different way. It's a different medium it has to travel.
Isn't the
I'll give you-
troposphere the one we're on now?
Okay, I'll give you a little thing. So you guys don't watch The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, and
Very
you really
rarely.
should, because last week, 2 nights ago, the episode was. Now you remember we talked a couple weeks ago about Thomas, the guy who was on the ranch hand, how
Yes.
he was getting sick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, last night or 2 nights ago, it happened again to a visitor. Somebody that was actually, that saw the UFO for the government. I forgot what the TikTok on that video that the government released. He was on the ship when that was released, so he understood. But yet he was on the ranch with 3 other people, and then when when he got this blinding headache, they had to remove him. They put him in one of the silos, which act like a Faraday cage. Which, if anybody knows what a Faraday cage is, it's where you can put somebody in it and it blocks out all the microwaves or any waves to get through it. And he got better, but then he had to, and all of a sudden he was fine. The thing I'm trying to say here is, this microwaves are very, very sketchy. Okay, and increased dosage, and it can really do damage. Now, I don't know if this thing can't control weather. And just because Skeptoid says you can't, that doesn't mean they can't. All right.
HAARP's website directly says it can't.
Well, you know what? That's true. But that's also their website.
Yeah, I know.
They're not going to tell you, we can do this. Until it's...
Especially if you're trying to attribute to so many natural disasters.
Here's the fucked up thing, though, to Dad's point. Under environmental effects, there is 6 questions. None of them have anything to do with the environment other than weather-related.
Right.
Like it says, are there any long-term effects on ionospheric heating? How much power does HAARP take from the power grid? Are there health hazards associated with electromagnetic fields produced by HAARP?
Anytime there.
Can HAARP control or manipulate the weather? Can HAARP exert mind control over people? Can HAARP create chemtrails? Nothing says can HAARP create an earthquake or a tsunami. But the argument I'm going to make on that is this is a breathing, living planet. It has been through a lot every decade for billions of years. Tsunamis are not something that just happened. They're devastating. And who's to say that this? You can say, well, there's an uptake in these natural disasters based off of what? Because I think if you took you put a pinpoint on any point in Earth's history, Earth's life, during that period of time, no matter when, there's catastrophic weather events there too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I also agree that just because it happened naturally doesn't mean that these guys haven't done anything.
Oh, yeah. There's no way of knowing, is my point.
Right. There's no way of knowing on either one. Either was it the weather or,
unless someone can say that, hey, I tracked a signal from this location in Alaska, and that signal went out to this area of the ocean, and then we found out that a tsunami also happened in that, or originated from that area in the ocean. And all a tsunami is an earthquake underwater that ripples the fucking waves.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's got to be that A to B causality that I don't know. I haven't done the research into this, so I don't know if there is anything like that.
I just find it funny that no one seems to want to deny that. They just don't want they'll deny we can't control your weather and we can't do this and we don't have enough microwave.
I think it's in the name itself. Granted, it's a long fucking name, but it's active auroral research. They're basically saying, listen, this is not a machine that can do that. So why are you even asking that question? It's like saying, hey, how come you don't eat soup with the fork? Well, because we don't even talk about forks when we're having soup.
Right, but you also got to understand the way the government works. See, again, coming from my perspective, how I don't trust the government at all is because I've lived long enough to understand that people's language means something, and you got to really pay attention to the language. And this, all right, we're doing this, and it says we're doing this, and our website says we're doing this. But why would I believe you when you've lied to us so many times before? Why would I believe anything the government says when the government has not been truthful with its people? And I'm talking now, this is not political by any means because it happens under every president. okay, you're gonna find that every president had to have a lie somewhere along the line. But when you're messing with microwaves, it's a sketchy business. These things are very, very, very powerful, and when you're giving a lot of money away to different places to help you or whatever, there's something there. There's got to be something there, and I don't believe it's just to study the upper ionosphere or whatever the hell they call that. It just, to me, there's no win for it. You're not gonna. There's nothing. In other words, you're not gonna. Oh, I studied it today, and I learned that the ionosphere runs like this, or like this, like this, like this. Okay, so what are you spending millions and millions of dollars for to want to even learn that shit when it means nothing?
Well, we don't know that it means nothing.
I can't say that doesn't mean
but
nothing.
like you would
what
think,
does it mean?
You would think that we're approaching what, almost 30 years of research, right? It's launched in 93, so it's 2022, so it's 29 years of research now.
And why did the U.S. government back out of it in 2015?
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of questions here. Did the research come to an end? They're like, all right, we got what we needed. And if the U.S. did back out of it in 2015, then maybe it's just, all right, we did our part. We studied it because we're the first, we're the government, and now we determined it's not the biggest thing. We got our information, now we hand it over to the college. You guys figure it the fuck out. You guys, because that's what college is for, is there to explore and experiment. You guys have fun. Keep this research up. If you find anything, let us know. But we've determined that after studying for 30 years or 25 years,
we've discovered nothing.
We've discovered nothing.
Right.
It's listen.
But we did discover how to use microwaves. And we did discover that the beam of microwave can be very, very dangerous. And what could happen? And again, when we get into the list of theories here that I got, there's one that's going to ring. If you're a listener of this program, you're going to understand where I'm coming from because I mentioned it, I believe, last week or the week before. But
it's almost like it's Area 51 light. Like there's nothing there. Like Area 50. The thing is, H.A.R.P. It's not classified, and it's a college-based thing. So, but I like anytime it has something to do with the government, I always harken back to there's a quote in the movie Independence Day that Julius Levinson said. I think it's Judd Hirsch's character. He's like, "You don't think they actually spent $10,000 for a hammer and $30,000 on a toilet seat, do you?" Because that's the Discovery Area 51. That's how I just picture the government spending so much money to figure out and experiment and explore shit that's important to them, and they don't give a fuck about letting anyone else know.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take another short little break, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about your conspiracy theories, Dad, and we'll pick those apart. All right, so we'll be right back, guys.
Hello, hola, konnichiwa. I have a very important question for you. Is this real? That's the motto of our weekly podcast. We question everything from the paranormal to conspiracies, even the extraterrestrials. There's no topic we won't dive into. So tune in and listen to our show every Sunday at 8 p.m. And remember, folks, question everything.
Welcome back, everybody. See, I did a short welcome there. So, Dad, let's get into your theories. Let's break down these. How many theories you got?
All right, I'm going to read. I'm going to give you 13 theories, 13 conspiracy theories, and then we can discuss them. Okay. Now I'm going to leave the one that I just, for last. One of them is Princess Diana's murder. Okay, they say, I know the looks you get in the booth now is like, what? Okay. And
that was the Queen.
Okay. Within hours of Princess Diana's death on August 31st, 1997, in the Paris highway tunnel, whatever, conspiracy theories swirled, as was the case with the death of John Kennedy. And again, this is what I'm going into these theories, I want you to take what is being done here, okay? Whenever the government wants you to look at something that somebody's saying and it's a theory, they will load it with a lot of pork. They will tell you, well, you know what?
Anthony.
They will say to you, you know what? The Princess Diana's death could be you. It might be, but it's just like that stupid stuff with the Kennedys, and it's like that stupid stuff with aliens, and make you think, you know what? Well, maybe this is all stupid anyway, and they're gonna. That's what they do. They manipulate your mind. Okay. This one goes with Muhammad Al-Fayed, the father of Dodi Al-Fayed, who was dating Diane at the time, that he was involved or whatever. And, so that's the first one. The second one is subliminal advertising. And if anybody saw the movie They Live, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, when you look at a certain sign and he had to wear the sunglasses, and
yes,
they made different
I'm here
different
to chew
messages.
bubble gum and kick ass.
And I'm all out of bubble gum.
And I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the greatest.
In the
movie
80s,
lines of all
in the
time.
80s, concern over subliminal messages spread to the bands such as Styx, Judas Priest, Led Zeppelin, with the latter even being sued in 1990 for allegedly causing a teen suicide subliminal message. How that has anything to do with backward masking on an LP, I have no clue. But that's number 2. Okay. The Moon Landing Hoax, which is a show all by itself. In fact, it was a show all by itself.
Yes, we did that.
Okay. How the conspiracy was described in a 1976 self-published book. We never went to the moon. America's $30 billion swindle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's
I
another
remember talking about that.
Yes.
All right. And it has the different various moon hoax in there. Paul McCartney's death. All right.
It's funny you say that. There's a lot about that in the world in general. There's a lot of people, and I guarantee you've seen it on TikTok a lot.
Sure.
Too. There's a lot of people who really do believe that Paul McCartney is dead.
You're right. We just got to go back to Abbey Road and look at the cover. I mean, that's all you really got to do.
Right.
But
it's
again,
the same thing with a lot. Like, I think the biggest one is who else has a conspiracy theory that they're dead? It was Avril Lavigne. I think is the biggest one that's out there. I said that Avril Lavigne is not the same person now that she was then, or some shit like that. There's a lot of celebrity conspiracy theory deaths. I mean, a lot of these are they're just rattling off conspiracy theories, and none of them have anything to do with HAARP. But it's under the HAARP page, so we're going to follow through. JFK's assassination. I don't even want to talk about that. It had nothing to do with HAARP. HAARP wasn't even a thing when JFK
exactly.
was.
It's ridiculous to even go there. Why they would do it? The Roswell crash and cover-up wasn't even a thing then. That was 1947, I believe, or something like that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, so I don't know how you're blaming that on HAARP. Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Anthony, I'm going to deflect to you on this one because I have no idea flying fuck what this means.
Maybe that's another topic we can bring to,
hold on, I'm going to read what it said.
Are we going to do a season of just some fucked up weird religions?
All right, the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion is a hoaxed anti-Semitic book that purported to reveal a Jewish conspiracy to achieve world domination. It first appeared in Russia in 1905 and described as how Christians' morality, finances, and health would be targeted by a small group of powerful Jews. The anti-Semitic idea that there is a Jewish conspiracy is nothing new. I don't know how this has anything to do with HAARP. The Satanic Panic.
The Jews have microwaves.
Hold on, the Satanic Panic? That sounds like a great thrash metal album.
Okay.
It is, actually.
All right, we'll let that one go if you want to discuss that one. Now, I'm not telling you about how.
Lucifer uses microwaves.
Chemtrails. And okay.
Here we go.
All right, the chemtrail conspiracy theory holds that condensation trails are full of other chemicals that scientists and governments are seeding into the atmosphere. Again, has nothing to do with HAARP. Why are they on here?
Hold on a second, though. On HAARP's website,
they do have a Ken HAARP.
They have a question. Can HAARP create chemtrails? Their answer, no. The theory suggests in part that the contrails that form behind aircrafts or rare cloud formations are chemical and or biological agents being released onto the general public. This is not true. Contrails are produced by condensation by the exhaust of the jet engines, just as water coming from your car's tailpipe condenses to produce ice fog on a cold Alaskan winter morning. Water from jet engines exhaust condenses in the very cold upper atmosphere. HAARP doesn't produce water in the atmosphere, has no capability to release gas or liquids, and does not interact with existing waters in clouds.
Right.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history. We also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
All right, I'm going to give you now the number one conspiracy theory that, I don't know, if you listened to the show last week or the week before, 9/11. If you recall, I do believe that the buildings were taken down by some kind of
you said microwaves.
That
because they were
pulverized that
yeah.
building, which shows you the power that these things got.
Couldn't have been rigged explosions instead of microwaves?
No, I'm not saying it couldn't. I believe there were rigged explosions as well. But
okay.
You got to look at the
a combination of two.
Hold on a minute. You got to look at the destruction.
Right.
Even if they were rigged and they were, it's not going to pulverize the concrete. The key to this is a pulverization of the concrete that takes a force that we just don't have. You really have to have a lot of energy behind that. And what could give that kind of energy? H.A.A.R.P has it. Okay, so was it directed at the building at the time? I can't prove that.
Right, but
I do believe it.
It goes back to the argument I was making last week that you don't. There's been no. I understand. We're not going to go back into this argument, but I was saying there's no way to streamline that we know of, that no country has taken responsibility for, that there's been no technology released or theories of a technology release where you can harness a microwave to be pinpoint it goes here and that's the only spot
that we know of.
I understand that. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Our understanding of microwaves is it's more like a blanket instead of a bullet. But we don't know. Could be out there. There's nothing that suggests that there is, but it could be. Mm-hmm. I will play that for you. However, given the fact that that's 2001 and H.A.A.R.P was 1993, I don't know if the
10 years of research?
10 years of research?
Well, 8.
8 years of research?
Well, you don't know what was happening before H.A.A.R.P was discovered also.
No, I understand that.
There has to be a snowball effect.
Yeah, but it's also it's Alaska to New York. That's 6,000 miles.
No. Don't get that confused. Okay, you don't know what they developed and how they could have developed a weapon, which I think H.A.A.R.P was basically created for anyway, to harness the capability to pinpoint to laser beam a microwave somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, again, can I prove this?
Well,
no.
So getting back before and after this, we'll take another break and then have our closing arguments, talk about season 6, blah blah blah. The guy, getting back to earthquakes, apparently the guy who created the conspiracy theory or based what the conspiracy theory is on, his name is Eric Dubay. He was a conspiracy blogger and an American expat that lived in Thailand and is part of the crowd that believes that U.S. used H.A.A.R.P to cause an 8.9 magnitude earthquake that rocked northern Japan in March 2011, leading to the devastating nuclear meltdown of... You remember the nuclear meltdown in 2011 in Japan? Fukushima Daiichi.
Which actually was when it was after the tsunami, parts of that plant were showing up in California via the Pacific.
Yeah, so
it's weird.
The gist of the argument from Dubay and others is that the waves generated by H.A.A.R.P antennas are focused on a specific part of the ionosphere with enough force to make the entire thing buckle into space, and then the ionosphere snaps back towards the ground with enough precision to cause a massive earthquake that devastates a strategic target that furthers American economics and defense interests.
Okay.
I mean, you're bringing out science to defend an argument. Is it true? Nobody. I mean, there's other places. Like, I know there's a couple other H.A.A.R.P, not H.A.A.R.P as big as H.A.A.R.P, but there's other ionospheric research centers in the world. Like, there's one in Russia, there's one in Puerto Rico. But I don't know if they have the capability as much as H.A.A.R.P does to create a force that massive.
I have one more theory that I want to show. Anthony's going to thank God he's on the other side of the booth. Anthony, what do you think about if maybe H.A.A.R.P was created and they're telling you all this stuff, but they're actually using it as a way to correspond with Aliens. Because when all else fails, and I know that your favorite...
See, that's the thing. I'm actually don't have a problem with that. And here's the reason why.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. We've sent telescopes...
We got through to them, Jim.
Hold on, no, fuck you. We've sent shit out into space with the idea of, listen, we're sending you out there. If you happen to find some shit, here's our GPS to find us. Oh, I think it's the Hubble telescope or Voyager.
Voyager
has the disc on it. And
they also put Perry Como on it. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's a lot better. No respect.
There's instructions on how to get back to Earth on the disc on the fucking Voyager.
The fuck is your problem?
So it's like we're throwing out fishing lines into outer space for research to figure out how we all, the universe was even born.
Do we know where that is right now?
Yeah, we know where it is.
I don't think they can communicate with it anymore.
They can't communicate with it anymore, and it's like to download a picture from it now. I think we finally lost it. But like it took 2 weeks to just download a simple picture. That's how long it's been.
That went out of our...
It's out of the solar system. It's in interstellar space right now. It is. It's not coming home. It's gone. Yeah. And we sent the second one out there too. That one just passed Pluto, I think, in 2018. That's how we got those really clear photographs of it. So we're sending out fishing lines into the heavens to say, listen, if you're out there, we're here too, right? So if H.A.A.R.P is a giant telescope, radio telescope, doing the same thing, I can understand that. I can see that. The question is, why aren't you just saying that? Because there's plenty of things in this world that do that.
Right.
Unless it's like a different kind of telescope that no one has, like a weaponized telescope that we don't even know of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're at the point now, like I told you guys before the show and you both gave me shit for it, but we're at the point where technology is, we could take pictures of fucking black holes. We just took a picture of the black hole in the Milky Way, in our Milky Way galaxy, in the center of the galaxy where everything's spinning around. We took a picture of that fucking thing and it just came out. Now it looks like a butthole. It does. It's very hard to see. It's very grainy because this technology is very new.
Are you sure you weren't staring in the mirror?
we used, there was like 10 or 15 telescopes around the world that synced up to look there and to take that picture. We used the Earth as its own telescope to take that picture. So I could see H.A.A.R.P being used for something for interstellar communication, but if that's the case, why don't they just say that's what it's for? Because they've been doing that right along.
Well, they don't want to scare people.
Well,
just think about it this way.
They've done that all along.
No, but think about it this way: the masses would not communicate well knowing that there are intellectual life beyond us.
Listen, as far as aliens, it's a whole different topic.
And
as far as
I'm just saying, if
aliens could be.
So, like, let's say, let's put out the theory out there, and again, there's no proof of it, but I just love throwing shit against the wall, hoping it sticks, right?
Sure.
Let's say that Area 51 and H.A.A.R.P are interconnected somehow.
I believe that. Yes, they're both backed by the government, so yeah.
So
could not be.
H.A.A.R.P is used to communicate. Area 51 is used to house.
Sure.
How would you, if as a random citizen, knowing that the government knows and has communicated in housing these creatures in your own state, now granted, not state, but like country, blah, blah, it doesn't matter, as a citizen Earth, and that, they're lying to you and whatnot, and blah, 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 and you're going to sit there and say, okay, there is someone out there besides us.
Well, that's what the government did last year when they released the videos of the fucking...
They did not. Well, they released a video of now what they call a UAP.
Right, I know that. But I'm saying is they're acknowledging that they don't know what the fuck it is either. They're acknowledging...
They're acknowledging that, but they're not saying that...
No, they're not saying what it is, but they're saying that it's a UFO.
No.
We don't know what it is.
No.
It's a language here.
It's not a UFO anymore.
Now it's just... See, again...
A UAP.
They've been holding this back forever. Everybody knew that this is... there are unidentified flying objects, not all extraterrestrial. Some are from our own government.
Sure, you're right. I get that.
Okay, But now that it's got to the point where, okay, we have to say something because people are in the know. They want to know what we know. So what they did was they had to change the entire thing. It's no longer, it's not used cars anymore. It's pre-owned.
Yeah, I know. It's a euphemism. I get it.
We went through this, I think, last week.
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I know that. But my point is, the government...
Write the fuck down.
The government turned around and said, like, for years, it was like, we don't know what the fuck it is. We don't know what it is. We're not going to comment on it. We're not going to say it's a UFO. And now they've got to the point where, like, yeah, you guys are right. We don't know what the fuck it is either. So
it's a phenomenon.
We're saying that something's there too. We're on your side.
In other words, you know what? We're not telling you you're wrong, so figure it out yourself.
But
exactly. But it's the same thing with this.
It makes it that crazy to think about, though, that the government did come out and say that we have a UAP, regardless of it's a UFO. But that wasn't the craziest thing going on in that year.
Right. I know that. I mean, in retrospect, it is what it is. But my point is still the same. If this is a communication device, if Area 51 is housing technology from alien worlds, just fucking say it at this point. Like, because at this point, everyone's going to go, really? No shit. And I guarantee you, a government official can come out tomorrow and confirm every conspiracy theory, credible conspiracy theory about Area 51, and there'll still be assholes out there going, you know, it's the government who said it, I don't believe it.
Well, they're not going to tell you everything about Area 51.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, like, if a government official came out tomorrow and said, you're right, we have aliens there, we nationalize them, they're tax-paying citizens now.
As long as they're tax-paying.
We have their spaceship.
And their green card.
We have their spaceship.
Thanks to Joe Biden, now we don't even have to build a wall. They're coming from space.
We have their spaceship. We've been running experiments. There'd be some jackoff with a tinfoil hat going, I don't believe it. But wait a second, you just told me for years how they have aliens there. Now they're saying they have aliens. But if the government's saying it, it ain't true. Because the government wouldn't lie about being truthful.
Well, that's the problem. When you get the people that sit there and tell you the government's truthful at every up, they're not paying attention.
Yeah, I know that. My point is, even when the government says something that everyone's like, yeah, we kind of figured that, there's going to be people out there going, no, fuck you. I don't trust this. You're honest for two. Something's up here. They got Godzilla in the basement. They're not into that.
Wouldn't you just like to hear some reporter when he, interviewing a government guy and he goes, yeah, well, we found out this and we found out that, and we do believe it's, the guy just turned around and goes, well, no shit, Sherlock. That would be like refreshing to me,
I'm sure.
Someone do that.
Well, just look at him in the eye like, yes, we know.
And that's the thing, like, you'd have to sit there and really, I don't know, I don't know how the world would react. As far as the world in general, I know with United States people, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists, there's a lot of this and a lot of that. But if you notice in the last couple of years, and we'll do one more minute after I'm done, we'll go to our final break. It's all been a joke. A lot of people are using it as a joke. If something really were to happen and come up, I don't know how the world would actually react. But we'll leave it up to you guys to speculate. We're going to go on a last break, and we'll come back with our closing arguments for this season. I want to hear what you guys think about this season. Us in the booth. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to learn how everyone here at Green Hour Media is behind the microphone, then you want to check out Cafe Talk with Cito. We talk about a variety of topics from video games to our own personal beliefs. So if you want to learn more about us, be at your computer June 1st and listen to Cafe Talk with Cito on all podcast streaming platforms. And we are back. So, to close out, season 5.
Hold on a second. Ask if the H.A.R.P is real first.
Can I get to it first? That was my question.
All right, you're going with season 5.
To close out season 5, our final question for this season. Dad, do you believe in any of these H.A.R.P conspiracy theories?
The actual theories themselves? No. I have. There's no. No. I think it's just pork to try to distract people. However, I do believe that H.A.R.P was created for to try to weaponize it, to try to gain advantage in outer space, and to try to manipulate things on Earth that they could do. It'd be nothing better than being in a war and be able to cause an earthquake against your enemy, or a tsunami,
or a hurricane,
So I do believe that this technology was created for that. and I do believe the government, may have said they're backing out now. They backed out of Skinwalker Ranch, but they're still monitoring
7 years
it.
ago when they backed.
Right, and they backed out of Skinwalker Ranch
They
when Bob
pulled
Bigelow
out.
I have a knife.
They're still there. They're still monitoring it every day. The government will never back out of something and not keep something, under the rug, in the closet, so they can always put their hand on it if it doesn't go the way they want them to go.
Well, Anthony, you know about being in the closet. What do you think about...
They pulled out. Not a very American thing to do, is it?
What do you believe in any of these HAARP conspiracy
I don't
theories?
know.
God rest George Carlin.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know enough. Like, I understand what they're saying as far as HAARP is concerned, what it's used for from that aspect. I don't know if this is something that, like, they built this thing to do this exact job, and then everyone's like, no, you're lying to us. And they're like, no, for real. It's just this object that we're just studying this shit. And everyone's like, no, it's not. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? And everyone just ran with conspiracy theories. Or it's an actual thing that no one's hit the nail on the head on. I know Jesse Ventura did an episode on his TV show.
I'm just thinking about. I'm glad you brought that up. If there was nothing here, they wouldn't have threatened to shoot the guy. A governor, they were threatening.
They did threaten to shoot
That's
him.
true.
They were threatening to shoot him.
I mean, granted,
to
he
get in
was
there.
on,
Come on.
government property.
It doesn't matter. You
I mean, they threatened to shoot you.
somebody.
What do you call it? If you venture too far into Area 51,
You crossed the fucking line.
you cross the line, then you're done.
Yeah, they don't threaten. They
don't
just
threaten.
shoot.
Exactly.
And you know that those guys are not government. They're not.
They're not. They're contracted.
They're contracted. Can you imagine that, man?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I don't know.
I wonder if they know what's in there.
See, that's the thing. I don't know enough about the science. I don't know about enough about the science behind HAARP. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck this is used for. I don't know what to equate this to. It's like, oh, we have the harp, but we also have the trombone over here. It does the same thing, but that's not declassified. That's not backed by the government. It's like, I don't know enough about this thing to sit there and say that the government is doing something behind our backs or not. I don't put it past the government to put anything.
Exactly how I feel.
But I don't know what the fuck this is.
My whole thing about it, and it goes into Area 51 too. It's like kind of one and the same if you talk about it. It's a secret government facility that no one knows what really is going on in there because they keep it top secret. I understand keeping it top secret. I get that. Mm-hmm. But to a point, where other facilities like... I mean, for me, I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, see, again, with Area 51, I'm going to be on, and I said this when we did the Area 51 episode. I sleep
That was
a
a
lot.
while ago.
I sleep a lot better at night, not knowing what's in there, and I'll tell you why. I don't need to know when they're testing a new plane, because if I know, China knows.
Sure.
Okay, I don't need to know if
it's okay to keep secrets.
Now, if there's aliens in there, yeah, I'd like to see. Look, we captured an alien. He's here at his own. We're trying to find out what's going on. We're trying to form communication. I don't find that to be a problem with releasing that information. So there's where I have the issue with that. But Area 51 is very, very secretive, and it should be secretive because we don't want our enemies to know what we have or what we're testing. Don't forget, Area 51 was created as a testing site for new aircraft originally, or at least that's what we're told.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there comes to a point with that, though, because, like, if you sit there and realize how, again, like I said, I don't know how many other government facilities, if you step foot on it, they shoot you on sight. Mm-hmm. Is there a lot of them like that? Like, is it mostly where they're guarded by contract agents?
Well, let's put it this way. You can't get into any military base just walking through. You might be able to walk through to the guardhouse. You might be able to walk through the thing. But, again, none of them are out in the middle of the desert where no one should be.
Yeah.
You know what
or
I mean?
in Alaska.
You got one on Route 36 and right at the Highlands down there.
Yeah, hold on. But Alaska's a little different. Yes, Alaska is remote, but this is at the college. You know what I mean?
It's 50 miles from a college.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's not like Nevada where there's nothing for hundreds of miles around. Like, the Area 51 is in the most isolated spot in the United States. Okay, HAARP is still in Alaska. It's all the way the fuck up there.
Well,
but it's not like it's completely isolated away from civilization.
You also don't know how it's situated because I guarantee most of these facilities that are like this are either in, again, I haven't done the research on that, and hopefully we could find that out. But most of these facilities that are like HAARP are probably located either the very most upper hemispheres or southern hemispheres.
Yeah, like listen,
Puerto Rico's not really either of them. So
no, I know, but like as far as HAARP's concerned, it says on their website, can I visit it? And it says the research station doesn't employ enough staff to let tours happen. But the U.S. Air Force recognizes there's a great interest in scientific work of the facility, and the university plans to continue the tradition of holding an annual open house when anyone is welcome to visit the site.
I don't agree with that at all because they would never threaten to shoot Jesse Ventura. That's bullshit.
And that was on video.
That might be a certain aspect that they built around to watch to say, oh yeah, we'll open it up because this is what you should see. But meanwhile, the real stuff is going on 30 miles away. I don't buy.
Right, I know that, but I mean, the argument, you can at least make the argument like they don't even do like the gift shop at Area 51. You don't fucking go there. Like, you step foot over the line, you're a hashtag. Right. With HAARP, they're like, listen.
Put that motherfucker on a T-shirt.
Listen, we'll have an open house once a month. You guys can come see it. You can wave at the big reflectors.
But either way, what I was getting to the point is I really. The one that I believe in, I do believe that they can have some type of control of the weather.
I broke into Area 51. All I got is a stupid fucking T-shirt.
Because of the science. And, again, you could sit there and it goes with any type of science. Some scientists believe, some scientists don't. It's on that spectrum of you have 50 scientists here that say one thing and then 50 scientists here that say another. So that's where that leads to.
That's why I said I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a
now,
thing.
Gentlemen, we had a roller coaster of a season.
Mm-hmm.
Couple breaks in between. People not here.
Yeah, I stepped in this season.
Anthony stepped in,
and I gotta applaud Anthony. You did a great job. Your humor is second to none. You bring out a skepticism, which we really don't have that. We do.
Cito stepped in a couple episodes.
Right,
yeah.
Cito the same thing.
Season.
And then so I really, and I hope to God you're going to be more on the show.
No, I will. I have plans. See, I'm here now filling in for Josh and Wes, but our company, like, it's all of us. So when they can't make it, I don't have a problem stepping in. Cito, I think, feels the same way. We're very blessed to have Cito. Found his way into our hearts and into our company too. So, like, I'm completely fine with.
Stop tapping the screen like that.
I'm fine with, like, listen. I said to you guys months ago, on the topics that I'm interested in, I want to be in the booth for. Things like HAARP, where I'm sitting there going, I don't know what the fuck this is. I could have sat this one out, but I'm a team player, so there you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, if I had to sit through a season of Cryptoids, motherfucker, okay, every week I'm going up
jackass.
Oh no, it's a Jersey Devil again. Oh my God, no more.
First of all, that right now those episodes are trending. All right,
I agree. Again, that's why we do what we do. You gotta take the good with the bad. Now,
some of the best episodes
was kind of tough. I got to be honest with you. There's a couple times when I just couldn't do it because I had had other things going on. Whether with work or repairing stuff or whatever. And of course it's a big hit when half your season goes by and then you're missing two of your key members, and that's not taking anything away from Anthony. God knows. I mean, he did a yeoman's job.
All right, you have to stop jerking him off.
I'm not jerking him off. Fuck you. Look, man, really? I mean, seriously, I'm trying to be. You asked about season 5. I'm telling you.
But it's not all about Anthony. We covered some nice things.
Okay, all right. This is for me.
Don't break your arm jerking me off now.
Jesus Christ!
I'm glad Anthony stepped in.
Now you have to pay for this hand job.
I miss West, and I definitely miss. Roadblock because these guys were.
You guys are the foundation. You've done how many episodes together? 60, 70 episodes, something like that.
So whenever.
I don't know. I lied. Maybe like 40. I don't fucking know.
Let's
this is our 88th episode.
All right. My point is, the four of you built a rapport. You built, you're the core of Is
No,
This Real?
I get it.
I stepped in.
Are they coming back for season 6, or is
Yes,
it another?
No, they'll be back.
Just like so I am going to talk about season 6 and our topics for season 6.
ahead,
I
go
really
for
want people who are listening to this to get really prepared of
Make
what
it
we're going to
quick,
talk
will
to
you
about,
please?
because the first part about season 6, Anthony's not really invested in, which even though I think it's really a really good topic, and I think Joshua and both Eric are going to be in and are very interested in also, especially I think Joshua. But we're going to be talking about the Clintons.
Well, I mean, the first half of season 6, if I'm not mistaken, is all about the rich and powerful families.
Well, okay, so we talked about what was the fucking
The
family?
Rothschild.
The Rothschilds in one episode, and that is our best episode ever. As far as downloads, people love listening to that. They download it here on any platform. You combine it all. For some reason, that episode, people are really interested in that. So I was like, fuck it, let's talk.
It's all
more
the
about
government
that.
people listening. It's not even fans. It's like, should we put them on the radar? Did you listen to that episode? Let me email it to you. These fuckers know something.
So I want to talk about the Clintons because there's a lot to talk about the Clintons.
Oh, the season of allegedly. Okay.
So that's what we could call it, the season of allegedly.
I don't want to participate in any of these episodes.
So the first episode we're
I
going to
will not be found in a trunk of a car.
The first
a suicide
shut the
note
fuck up.
that I did not write because I don't understand that language.
Don't clit inside me.
So the first episode is the introduction to this season. We've never done an introduction to a season. I want to do it.
All right.
So the second episode, we're going to talk about overall the Clintons, how the family started, blah, 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 stuff like that. The second episode, or the third episode, is when it gets really deep into stuff. We're going to be talking about Bill Clinton himself, along with his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, which I think a lot of people don't know about. And then the second episode is Hillary Clinton. We're going to go right into her email scandal and her the conspiracy theories about her in...
We got to do the Clintons 3 weeks in a row?
Yes.
Oh,
and the 2016 presidential election.
Okay.
The one she lost for a second time. And then the 16th is my birthday, so we're going to be off that day. So there's not going to be we're going to have a week off in between. And then we're going to get into neo-feudalism, which is a wide curb right, but it actually ties into families and stuff like that. Brought by Cito. Cito wanted to talk about that, so we're going to talk about that.
Damn college fuckers with these big words.
And then then that's really where the big family's taken in, and this is where we curve the complete opposite direction, and we talk about religion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Eric really gets involved. We have a whatchamacallit in the booth.
Atheist.
An atheist in the booth.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, I'm not trying to put business out there, but Josh, in the text thread was like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm an atheist. It doesn't bother me. And I'm like, that's exactly why you should be a part of it. I want to hear, like, you're an atheist. What's your, like, it goes more than just, this is all dumb shit and I don't believe it. Like,
and Anthony's really
you know
involved.
what I mean? Like, I like to hear an atheist opinion. Also. I want to do it because of the it's been a topic of interest for me. Religion in general, so I'm down for this. Like, we're gonna have to fight for positions in the booth. We might have to set up another mic.
Well, by that time, I think we're gonna have the booth is gonna be different, isn't it?
Yeah, July 1st, we open the new booth.
Then it won't be different by then.
It'll be the new studio.
Anywho, so
that week.
Yeah, so it's a little out of order. We probably are gonna reposition it somewhat after deliberation and talking, stuff like that. But I have the Antichrist for the first week of religious part, season 6, part 2.
And then the Uncle Christ.
Fuck you, Anthony. And then I have the Roman Empire and Christianity, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the mystery of the Holy Grail, the myth of Jesus Christ himself, the mystery of the Knights Templar, and Christianity today. So that's the order in which there's deliberation of whether we should change the order or whatnot, but that's the topics we want to talk that I set, and I think it's going to be a really interesting season.
All right, and we will have we're going to have 1 week. We're going to have 1 week that won't post anything, but we will be in the booth doing other stuff, so we don't get the week off. But
there's this between when we end this season 5 and season 6 is a 2 week break.
Okay.
So
but not for us, though.
Not for us. We're going to be back in the booth next week.
We're recording all the time.
But what is it?
You
June
fuckers enjoy
1st?
yourself.
That week of June 1st, I think that's when season 6 begins. Okay. And June 1st is actually when Cito's show, his new show,
so
Cafe Talk with Cito.
That'd be great. Yeah.
That Wednesday, it goes up.
That'd be good. It's
June
be good.
1st.
Looking forward to it. He worked his ass off for it, and he deserves a shot. So if you're a fan of this program, check Cito out. He's a smart young man, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. And he's learning his way around the microphone right now. So give him a listen.
Yep. So with that, gentlemen, we close the books on season 5 in our History's Mysteries season. Anthony, thank you for coming into the booth with us and filling in.
Thank you for making me a member.
No, we didn't make you a member.
I'm a member, motherfucker.
Yeah, you are a member, Anthony.
Dad,
I'm the fifth wheel. I'm the spare in the trunk.
You got the same last name as Joey and I. You remember.
So, Dad, we close out another season of Is This Real?
Yeah.
In the book, season 5. That's a wrap. Thank you guys for listening. Keep downloading. Keep going to our Facebook page, Instagram page, our Patreon. We haven't done a lot of Patreon stuff. We continue to say we're going to do it, but we are going to get back into that. Our YouTube page, we have some new content coming out on YouTube. Keep a lookout for that. And Cito's podcast will be coming out soon. Thank you guys again. Good night, everybody. Say good night, guys.
Good night,
everybody.
And we'll catch you next season.
Adios,
remember, everybody,
motherfucker.
question everything. Good night, guys.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc or on Twitter at isthisrealpc or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.